Today, we're going to talk about Houston and why they are currently the number one seed and number one in Ken Palm, and why they're probably going to be one of the one seeds going into the tournament and why they have a decent chance of winning the tournament. The first thing we're going to talk about is Houston on offense, then we're going to talk about their defense, then we're going to talk about some weaknesses that they showed, especially in their last loss against Temple. So first off, on offense, the important thing to know is they're fifth in Ken Palm. Their top 5 shooters are all above 33% shooting from behind the arc, which is good. Obviously, space out of the defense allows them to operate more one-on-one, gives them better chance in offense, and helps them out in transition, which is the first point we're going to talk about for them on offense. Houston, anytime they get a turnover, loose ball, sometimes even after a made basket, they're looking to push the ball. Houston has several athletes on the floor. They get the ball up, look to run in transition. Oftentimes, this transition is caused from the defense, and they use that to create fantastic looks. Same, great block, get the board, push. All of these stemmed from great defensive play, and that allows them to push in transition, and obviously quite a few of them have the green light, even contested threes in transition. The second thing I noticed in the Memphis game, Houston was very much willing to attack mismatches whenever they had them either on the perimeter or in the post. So Memphis switched a lot of ball screens. Houston would trust number 13 in this situation to go one-on-one and finish around the rim. So here we can see Memphis's defense's coverage. They're going to switch this screen right here. Houston immediately looks inside what they deem a mismatch. 13 finishes. Same thing. We just see Memphis switch, look inside. This time 32 gets the attention. Of note, however, it doesn't just apply to the bigs. This also applies to the guards. If Memphis in the situation switches a big onto a guard, Houston right here is going to realize that this is a very much difference in athletic ability or a difference in speed and try and attack it one-on-one. The last thing that is required to be mentioned in any offensive Houston discussions is how Houston crashes the glass and are super athletic, so they get a bunch of rebounds out of this. So even when Houston doesn't get a great look or they miss their good look, they have people flying to the glass to get rebounds. Same thing. Shot goes up, crash the glass. Okay, so now we're going to switch to the defense side of the ball. So the first thing to note is that Houston is number 7 in Ken Palm, and they've historically had very, very good defense. So we're going to see more of that here in the situation. The first thing is how they handle ball screens. The majority of the time, they hedge, which is like they essentially have 2 on the ball partially to let the defense help and let the original defender recover to his man. So a good example of that happens here momentarily. Ball screen comes, you see both defenders jump out to the ball, and they kind of leave this defender here momentarily because they haven't cut off, and then they rotate back. The second thing of note is Houston's defense. Although athletes, they undoubtedly apply in transition. They also apply on defense as well. You can see that Houston has fantastic one-on-one defense, which I'm going to talk about in a second, and then 2 rim protection. So watch this defender come over here, flash into the middle, and contest this ball. Like, that is tremendous defense. Might have been a foul, could have been contact, but regardless, it's getting up and contesting those shots. Second example of this, rotation a little bit. Houston steps up, and while that's not necessarily blocking a shot, taking a charge at the rim does the exact same concept as protecting the rim. The last concept is how Houston trusts its defenders in one-on-one situations. Like, it's because they know they have 5 good defenders, they're going to allow their defense essentially to operate without help unless you absolutely need it. And it's going to play good defense, and that allows for their transition again. Okay, so watch the on-ball defender very rarely just gets beat straight up off the dribble. Stays home, even sometimes when they get off balance in the post, doesn't matter. That's just good, solid defense. Same thing here. good defense. Even if they make it, that is good defense that they're not going to make a large percentage of the time. Okay, so now we're going to talk about how Temple was able to beat Houston the last game and discuss some potential weaknesses, or one area of potential weaknesses on Houston's side. And this is going to stem from their defense. On offense, they got pretty good looks this game. Their defense is one area they kind of struggled with. Or I guess maybe they didn't struggle with, but Temple exploited better than other teams in the past. So it's all going to start from that hedge concept we talked about earlier. So when both defenders go with the ball, it does temporarily leave whoever the Temple person setting the screen is available for a pass in this high post area right here. We're going to see Temple does a good job finding him and or moving the ball to take advantage of rotations on the backside. So you can see, because they're worried about number 15 here, this defender has to help over. So this defender is stuck with two people, and Temple just sets a down screen, open three on the other side. Really great job by Temple, honestly. All of these open looks are going to stem from the same hedge concept. So right there, they were maybe icing the ball screen, I don't know, or maybe they essentially just hedged preemptively. Temple finds 21, who finds the cutter or lip. Same thing, we're going to watch for the hedge. Boom, right there, 32 gets out on. 12 also comes. That means temporarily they have an advantage if they move the ball. They do rotate it fairly well. And I don't know entirely what happened here. Again, maybe this was preemptive, anticipating a screen. I don't know, but 32 leaves his man, which allows for the and one. So we have a tight game here. Houston sticks with their same base coverage. You saw two hedges right there. And here, same concept where the post comes. And that must be structured. I didn't see it in many other games, but against Temple, they must have been really trying to get the ball out of their hands in the post. But it allowed, in this situation, a little bit of a chaotic environment. Although Houston plays good defense, they do get a foul, and Temple's in the bonus, so that's a tough one to get in that situation. Same thing, the double comes once Temple gets it into the post. Houston does a good job of rotating over. However, with good passers, they're going to find shooters. So here we can see this corner defender has to help over because he's worried about 11 rolling to the rim right here. That's going to leave the corner shooter open. And good passers, good shooters will punish you for that.